The book, you mentioned the book. You're writing this book about living with the Jackson family.
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect to see in?
Let's just say you'll see lots of things that you haven't heard.
Oh, that's a good plug for a book.
Okay.
But it's a story that we lived. I call it the life of a lie that we lived, because we always had to smile for the public.
Yes.
But inside there was so much pain.
My father beat me, and he beat me, and he beat me. And then he threw me in the bathroom, and he closed the door. Beat me with a belt buckle and a switch.
He would take guns and put them to our heads and pull the trigger all the time until the day I left home. He would take matches and burn our toes, and he would laugh, and we couldn't do anything.
You can't say no because he beats you. You can't.
Yeah.
And it's bad because he would always tell me that I was nothing and I never will be nothing. Yeah. And I always remember these words.
He beat me. I didn't know why, because when you're young, you don't understand. But it was because I didn't speak up and talk in school. And the reason for that is because I saw so much going on inside the house. I said to myself, I don't want to be a part of this, and I would never talk. I was so quiet and shy. The brothers would say that my father would walk behind them, not with them, and he would say, I'm not with them. He was never there when any of us were born. And my mother had 11 children, and he wasn't there. She said at any of the births. My brothers were grown, and my father would take his fist and he would punch them and knock them down the steps constantly.
Would they provoke him?
To this day, no, of course not. To this day, they are still afraid of my father, and they will tell you.
That's why I call it a life of a lie that we all lived, because our parents always told us to smile for the camera and pretend as if nothing was wrong. And in America, as you all know, we were sort of like quoted as the perfect image of an all-American family. And so we had to live up to that reputation no matter what.
Telling endless tales of physical abuse at the hands of an abusive father. Each day, Latoya's accusations seemed to become more intense, more vivid. And then finally, last week, they became devastating.
So you come on the show and you say, hey, look, I have a revelation to make. It's a painful revelation to make. I've never said this before on national television.
Right.
I was abused as a child by my father.
Right.
And what you're about to talk about is really even more shocking, because you say you were sexually abused by your father.
Yes, my sister and myself were both molested by my father.
He would abuse my sister. We slept in the same bed, and he would sexually abuse her, come into the bed constantly. And I was right there in the same bed.
So I recall him getting in the bed with us and doing the acts with her. And eventually my sister just decided that she wanted to leave home, that she could not deal with it anymore, so she left home. And that's when he started sexually abusing me when she left home.
And Ruby picked up the phone and she called the police one time, I recall, as a young girl. I recall it very, very well. And you know what I did?
Did the police come?
You know what I did later? Yes, they did.
And what happened?
And my mother said, oh, there's nothing wrong here. Everything's just fine. Thank you.
My mother would allow it to happen. She would say to him sometimes, Joe, not tonight. She's tired, don't bother her. And I would be right there in the bed, and I would keep the covers over my head because I would hear my sister fighting and screaming. And Ruby would say, Mother, please go get him help. He needs help. And my mother wouldn't. My father was disturbed. I think any man who sexually abused his daughter, something is wrong right here. But nothing was wrong with my mother, and she allowed him to do these things.
And Ruby told me, she says, Latoya, I worried all these years about you and Janet. Did he ever do to you what he was doing to me? Did he ever sexually abuse you? And she said, please tell me. And I said, Ruby, there's some things that we don't talk about, isn't there?
I did not enjoy when he made me, can I say this, play with his and do things with his. I did not enjoy that. But that's something that went on. That's something that took place in our household.
Did you put that in the book?
The sexual abuse is definitely in my book. You have to read between the lines. I didn't elaborate.
That you don't write about in the book. You allude to it, that your sister Ruby
left. I touch it very lightly because it's something that the book company did not want to really elaborate on because they felt that it would be infringing on someone's personal life. It's a very touchy subject, and it's dealing with my sister, and I wasn't able to talk about myself just yet. You have to be ready to come out and talk about these things. But I feel that abuse is something that we need to speak about, speak openly about. That's what's wrong with society today. I couldn't deal with it anymore. Mentally, I couldn't deal. I thought about my father and what he did to me every single day. I felt like I was going to explode if I didn't get the answers. I called my mother up on the phone several times. Mother, please tell me why Joseph did these things to me. Why did he do this? Why did he sexually abuse me? Why did you watch him do this? And she says, Latoya, this is something that's private. You keep it in the family. You don't tell people about it.
When they denied it, that's when I had to come out and say, okay, he did it to me too.
I see.
Because I was tired of hiding and holding everything back.